You better get moving, ready or not. Start to go down, here it comes now. Better get moving, ready or not. Start to go down, here it comes now. Get ready. Get
Welcome to opening day 2019, the Mid-Atlantic Wiffle Tournament here in York, Pennsylvania. Thankfully, it's turning out to be a decent day. The rain has stopped, mostly around here, around the region. Most players said they hit a lot of pouring rain or heavy rain on the way here, so the gods are with us today. This is very exciting. I would put opening day up there with Christmas Eve specifically, and probably snow day when you're younger in middle school or even high school when you had that day off. So this is one of my favorite days. And I'm Nick Schaefer, reporting here for the first time ever. This is the pregame called First Pitch, where we'll be interviewing some players on different teams to get a little insight in today's actions. Right now there's just a couple games going on, but we're going to speak to some players. First off, we're going to speak to Tim Cook, who's the captain of the Stompers, one of the founders of the Stompers, and the Stompers will be going for a three-peat this year. They won the championships the last 2 years with a different roster. So, Tim, how do you feel about the transition this year with some of the different players?
Oh, I feel like we have a really good young core. We decided to do a full rebuild, and we got Gino Joseph, and we think he's a legitimate starting pitcher. We're hoping to have Blake Hoffman up. Hopefully sometime this summer. Bryce Clark is also a lefty. Tom Gannon. I really like our depth.
You have a lot of pitching depth. You just rattled off a bunch of young guns, I would say. How do you plan on using them? I know in the past when I was on the Stompers and Danny, you used some creativity to get the job done. Are you expecting to do some creative things this year?
Yeah, so we'll see how today plays out. I think that'll dictate the rest of the season, or at least the next couple tournaments. But right now, we're going to have Gino throw against the Meats at 9:30, and most likely he'll throw against the long balls at 12:30.
What about hitting? I think that everybody can agree the Stompers will be top 5, top 6 best armors, maybe even higher, potentially top 3. Where do you see hitting being?
Hitting's going to be our challenge. It's always a challenge, but especially with young guys, I believe that we can. We just need the reps, so I'm going to get these guys as many reps as I can, and we'll see how that progresses through the year. But that is definitely going to be something that we're going to really need to focus on and grind out every at-bat.
It must be pretty exciting, though, to kind of this be like the third restart of the franchise. Are you excited about that?
Oh, very excited. And like you said, I want the Stompers to live on for a long time, way after I'm done playing. So, putting it in the hands of these young guys, I really feel will pay off.
So enough of the Stompers. What about this tournament? This is like probably one of the best tournaments that is going to be found all year, no matter what region. There's some powerhouse teams here. There's some top-notch players. How do you feel about this tournament today?
Yeah, I mean, all 10 teams in this tournament could win any tournament this year. I mean, the Lemonheads are going to be a little bit down because they don't have Ray Lutic today, but there is not a single team here that isn't going to be able to contend in each and every game.
Tell us a little bit about the rest of this season. I know you're going to a new location this year, Jackson, New Jersey. You're going back to Ridley Park as well, and of course we're going to play here at York, which I think is one of the best fields in the entire country. This field's awesome. Tell us a little bit about the upcoming season here.
So May 18th we'll be in Jackson, New Jersey, home of the Lemonheads. We'll be running a tournament there. June 1st we'll be at Ridley Park, which is 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then we'll have our last 3 York events in Father's Day weekend in June, sometime in July, I forget off the top of my head, and August 11th. So.
And the playoffs in September, both playoff rounds should be awesome. It's going to be jam-packed with highly competitive teams and players. Well, thank you, Tim. Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Okay, shoot. We have Adam joining us now. Adam, so you changed teams this year. What was your thought process?
Shirey was getting surgery, and he said Potter and Mill said go have a season. So we shortly after that got contacted by Red and hopped on.
So the team name, which Paul Cook wrote in the preview article, the Juggernauts, is a pretty confident name to go with. How do you feel you guys are doing today? How do you feel you're doing this season?
I think we'll do well this season. It's the first tournament of the season, so it could be rough. We'll have to work out the kinks with 6 guys. That's going to be the toughest thing, is trying to figure out when to start everybody, when to start 4, 5.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
A lot of good arms. Speaking of good arms, yourself, how do you see yourself doing this year, pitching another year of experience? What do you expect?
Same as usual. I mean, my whole life has just been effectively wild, and when I lock in, and usually like 1 or 2 pitches end up beating me, but hopefully I can stay away from this.
That's the life of a wiffle ball pitcher. What are some things you specifically want to improve upon on the mound this year?
I want to try to add a couple more pitches. I've never had a changeup. I would love to get a changeup. I've tried to be working on one. It's not great yet, but it's nice to mix in.
Yeah, it's like the new flavor of the month, the changeup.
Yeah.
All these top pitchers have it. When I pitched ages ago, not many pitchers had it, so it's kind of cool to see people throwing high 70s, low 80s, and all of a sudden they break out a changeup and almost breaks your back when you're swinging. Speaking of today's tournament, how do you feel about your round robin, and what do you think's going to happen?
We certainly have a tough draw today.
Uh-huh.
The first game's very winnable, but you can't take the short balls lightly because they have pitching, and they can definitely find the bats and hit. Then after that, they're the tough ones. We got the meets. I guess it depends who's pitching for them. And then we got Earl, and I think Connor said he's pitching against us. So depending where we're sitting, then that'll be the game.
It's like an early playoff round for you.
It is. It really is.
Well, good luck this season.
Thank you.
Stay healthy and win some games.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. So moving along, we have some more interviews coming up.
Joey Van Houten from the Short Balls.
Joey?
Yep.
And we have Joey from the Short Balls coming up, wearing his Flyers shirt. Just hired a new head coach. Joey, so how do you see the Short Balls doing today, specifically?
Well, we're missing our key piece of hitting, Jack Liberio, but we're going to try to string together some hits, pull out some wins. We have all our normal pitchers here, so if they're keeping good up on the mound, I think we should do pretty good.
Tim and Paul Cook have told me, because I don't know that much about you guys, they said one of the things that's cool about you guys is you have great chemistry. You could beat anybody, but you can also lose to almost anybody. Mm-hmm. How do you find that consistency this year to move up as a more improved team?
Definitely our hitting. I feel like pitching, we can hang with them as anybody, maybe, but we're struggling hitting, so.
Well, I mean, being a veteran myself, I notice a lot of times teams and individuals get better at hitting each season. It's just one of the last skills that get developed.
Yeah.
So maybe this year will be a big jump. Are you
As soon
expecting
as it
that?
clicks, as soon as it clicks, I think we'll be able to hang.
And who do you play your opening game today?
The Juggernauts.
Juggernauts. So how do you feel facing one of the top teams opening day?
Might as well start with the hardest.
Absolutely. Well, good luck this season. Appreciate
you.
it. No problem.
Have a good one.
So that was Joey from Short Balls. They're one of the teams that, as Paul wrote in the preview and we talked about in the podcast, they could beat some of these top teams. Them and the long balls and the stompers. Hopefully, everybody assumes the meets, the Juggernauts, and Earl will be the top 3 teams, but there's some other teams that can overtake them on any game. So there's a lot of very good pitching here in Mid-Atlantic Wiffle. Each team is stacked with pitching, actually. There's probably about 15, 16 really good pitchers here. We spoke with Tim in the beginning. The Stompers, when Blake's here, they have 4 very good pitchers, including 3 lefties. Today, actually, we're filled with lefties. Dave from the Risers is a lefty, one of the best lefties probably the last 15 years. So this is like a little bit weird that in wiffle ball seeing so many lefty pitchers. Usually it's righty heavy, so it's kind of cool to see the diversity. When Danny used to be on the Stompers, he was the lefty that kind of stood out for the whole region. Now we're kind of breaking in a little bit more. So we have more games coming up soon too. Right now we have the Yaks playing the Risers on Field 1, and then we have Earl playing the Lemonheads right now. Lemonheads are missing Ray today, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they do. And we have Gino from the Stompers coming over here. A new Stomper edition this year. Welcome, Gino.
Thank you.
One of the cool things about Gino, move a little bit over. Thank you. The winter tournament you did awesome, and Paul and Tim were telling me how well you did, and I watched the video. Do you feel like that's really like your coming out party?
Yeah, it just took me a while because I've only been playing fast pitch since August. It was my debut, and then so I watched so many YouTube videos, and I just did so many cuts and patterns, and then it just showed out in February. So I'm hoping this year will be my breakout year, and I'll prove to everybody that that's what I'm worth.
That's awesome. So only not even a year of experience yet, and you're already this good. What are some of the pitches that you throw, and what are some pitches that you want to get better at?
My screwball is definitely my best pitch. I would say my drop is my go-to. My riser and my rising screws getting there. I threw in a couple change-ups. Working on a slider right now, so I got a lot of options to work with.
So you're on the Stompers now. I don't know if you've dug deep into the history of the Stompers. A third-place finish in the national championships in the early 2000s. We won the last 2 Mid-Atlantic Wiffle Championships. How does it feel to be part of the Stomper franchise?
It's an honor. I mean, coming third place at such a high national tournament and then winning these 2 tournaments, this is only grown. I mean, 10 teams is unbelievable. So it's only going to get better from here. It's an honor.
How about the team specifically? I think you guys have a little bit of I would say, a tougher draw today, too.
Yeah.
How do you see today playing out? Can you see your team making the playoffs today?
Yeah, I definitely see us making the playoffs. New York meets are going to be a tough draw. Long balls are good. Bruisers got a hitting team. I mean, every team is good. I mean, there's no bad team. There's no perfect team. Everyone has their own skill. So I'm just going to try my best, hit the ball, throw strikes.
Well, best of luck, Gino.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So Gino's going to be one of the people to watch in Mid-Atlantic Wiffle, probably one of the best up-and-coming arms. He displayed it in the winter tournament that MAW had. A hell of an arm, can throw strikes, can throw hard. I think since he's only been pitching for playing competitive wiffle ball for 8-9 months, he's going to be one of the best players soon. So keep an eye on Gino. I would say by this time next year, my prediction he'll be a top 5 pitcher. Who knows? It may happen this year. So it's very exciting stuff. So we have Jerry from the Barrel Bruisers.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Jerry.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
One of everybody's favorite players. The Bruisers have this is their 3rd year in the tournament. 3 years Mid-Atlantic Wiffle Ball, 3 years for Barrel Bruisers. How do you see today playing out?
Well, we're psyched about our draw, right? We knew going into the season there's a couple super teams, and so we didn't want to play them. And so I think we got Ridley Park, short ball, long ball, great players, but they're all fun matchup, but they're all homegrown guys, so we like that. That's going to be fun. And then we got the Stompers, so we're excited.
Yeah, and one of the cool things is your team and you individually too. You and Chris specifically played a lot of winter wiffle ball this year.
Yeah.
Do you think that gives you a slight advantage for opening day? Get you more prepared?
Well, I don't know if it gives us an advantage, but we're definitely more prepared.
Yeah.
So we changed the rules this year. We did knife balls. So in the years past, it was new balls, so we did knife balls. So at least we've been throwing knife balls, and we've been seeing knife balls. So we're hoping that our eyes are a little better this year, and our arms are a little stronger.
Are you going to use it too when you're on the mound?
Heck yeah. Absolutely.
That's something I never, when I used to play in the early 2000s, there was nobody that knifed any wiffle balls.
Right.
And Connor told me when I interviewed him for the article for the MAW website, knife balls changed the game. And it sounds like it might change the game for you guys.
Absolutely. Huge difference with that knife ball.
So the first broadcasted game today is going to be your team, actually.
my
It's going to be you
gosh.
versus the long balls.
I
And we
know.
chose it specifically because, like you said before, it's 2 homegrown teams. It's 2 fun teams that swing. Watch today be a lot of walks and all that. But we're very excited to have you guys on the first broadcast. Could you see you guys making the playoffs today?
2 wins, right?
Yeah.
Sure. We can win 2.
I think it's Paul and Tim even said 1 win, and if you have 2 losses and one's a total base loss, I don't know the rules. You have to ask them. There's so many variables. But best of luck today, Jerry.
Thanks, Nick.
Look forward to seeing you on the field this year.
Awesome, brother.
And that's it for first pitch today. We were going to be getting ready for the tournament. Our first broadcast game is the Long Balls versus the Bruisers. Paul and Tim put the schedule on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook. The stream will be on Facebook, so please listen to us. We're excited to bring you these games. It's going to be a great tournament.